And moving on into the shitty news of this whole fucking podcast, World War III has officially begun, whether or not we have sent troops in yet or not, depending on what you believe, because there is some claims out there. I'm going to use claims because you can't prove either way, because the truth is the first casualty of war. But there are claims that Americans are leading the efforts on the ground, but the Russian flagship of their navy, the Moskva, well, I don't know, I don't know if I pronounced that in Russian right, but the Moskva crew is like, we're going to get into the BBC News. They've been shown for the first time. Somebody sunk the Russian flagship, and Ukraine isn't sinking the Russian flagship. I, as much as I don't like what's going on in Ukraine, I know that's not fact. So I don't know. You guys can make up your own mind. But let's get into this because I heard about this the other day, and this is because of the dealing with my dog and stuff this last weekend. This is the first time I've been able to actually get into it. So, Russian warship Moskva crew shown for the first time since the sinking. There's the Russian crew. They're really irrelevant. The Russian Defense Ministry has published images showing what it says the crew of the warship Moskva. The first time any sailors from the ship have been seen since its sinking. It could be Russian propaganda. You never know. I mean, it is what it is. You got to make up your own mind. We're in a world where you can't always trust everything that you see, which is why I do this, and other people do this, and then some people don't trust us because you have to like read everyone's. You got to listen to Russia, you got to listen to America, you got to listen to Ecuador, etc., etc., etc. Oh, Ukraine in this case. You got to listen to everything, and then you got to like bob and weave the commonalities and make up your own mind because we live in an era of media disinformation. So it is what it is. A large group of sailors is seen on parade in the Crimean port of city of Sevastopol, met by Navy Commanders-in-Chief Adam Nikolay Yemenov. The Moskva was the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet. The ship's demise has been described as a huge blow to Russian morale. The ministry announced late on Thursday that the Moskva had sunk on stormy seas. A fire caused an exploding ammunition. Ukraine said it had sunk the ship with 2 Neptune missiles. Alright, so Ukraine is claiming they sunk the ship, and Russia is saying that the ship sunk itself. But then when we get into the next segment, I don't know. I don't know if you could trust that. Maybe Ukraine did sink it with weapons supplied by NATO. But I digress. Russians said at the time that the crew had been taken to Sevastopol, a major port Crimea, which Russia annexed from Ukraine in 2014. This, however, is the first time any evidence has been offered of the survival of any sailors. The video shows Adam Yemenov and 2 other officers standing on parade around in front of the 100 sailors. It's not clear whether the meeting took place. In an interview shown at the end of the video, Adam Yemenov says that the officers and the crew are currently residing at their base in Sevastopol and will continue their services in the Navy. Russia has not reported any casualties from the fires or the sinking. However, an unmanned U.S. official quoted by Reuters news agency said Washington believed there were casualties. Ukraine said the ship's captain, Anton Kirpkin, was killed on board, but the BBC has been unable to verify this. So that's what's going on, man. Would they want to let they know that happened? Like, I don't know. If I was Russia, like, you want to keep that down, like, so morale doesn't get down, because you need morale, because if people stop participating and whatnot, even though we forced them to have to participate because of the sanctions, but that's a different discussion. That's something you got to do. You got to, like, even George Washington, like, I got but for one life I regret, but I got one life to die for my country. I can't even like speak my own propaganda. George Washington created that to keep morale going during the Revolutionary War. You can find that in his own writings. That's a complete fabrication. I mean, it is what it is. They covered that in Turin, Washington Spies, though, which I like that bit of like attention to detail there. The 12,490-ton cruiser is the biggest Russian warship to be sunk in action since World War II. On the first day of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24th, the Moskva gained notoriety after calling on a small garrison of Ukrainian border troops defending Snake Island on the Black Sea to surrender, to which they memorably radioed an expletive-laden message of refusal. Originally built in the Soviet era, the Moskva entered service in early 1980s. The vessel was actually built in Ukraine's southern city of Mykolaiv, which was been heavily bombed by Russia in recent days. The guided missile cruiser was previously deployed by Moscow in the Syria conflict, which it supplied Russian forces in the country with naval protection from the Mediterranean. It is the second major vessel Russia has lost since the start of the invasion in Ukraine. Maybe it did get sunk by the Ukrainians, and Russia's trying to say that it was faulty equipment, so morale isn't that bad because trying to keep the Russians believing that they didn't get attacked, they didn't lose like soldiers to enemy conflict, or it's Ukraine trying to convince the world that they did kill soldiers and that conflict and trying to boost morale for their people. And both stories could be a goddamn lie, and some NATO submarine could have sunk it. It's like I don't know. We weren't there. I didn't have boots on the ground. All we have is Ukraine, which benefits from making it seem worse than it actually is. We have Russia that benefits from making it seem less worse than it actually is. We got us that benefits from it seeming like it's worse than it actually. We got fuck games, and I mean it's our establishment. Us, it's not really the right choice because we don't benefit. They do, but you get what I'm saying. They sunk the Russian flagship. This is the Black Sea Flagship. This is a blow to Putin's war effort. Either way, left, right, sideways, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. It does not matter. This is a huge blow to the Russian war effort, and we'll keep you apprised moving forward. Just fucking saying. Thank you for checking out this clip of my Thought of the Day podcast. You can catch this podcast every Tuesday through Friday at that'sonpoint.info by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's how winning is done. New clips go out daily. And we can't do this without you, so we appreciate your support. With that being said, consider joining for $5 a month, and you get early access to the uncensored version of this, early access to our weekly That's On Point podcast, and access to exclusive content only for members. All the money that we receive is going to go funnel back into this to hire more journalists and do more things for you guys, because that's how winning is done. It really is. We got a merch store and stuff. You can help there, and if you can't help via money, you can always just leave a comment, and share this out there, because that helps us more than you can immensely know. That's the best way to help. Just leave a comment, and share. And if you're listening to us, leave a review. Leave a good review. Help us boost us in the podcast ratings and get us up there, because that's how winning is done. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.